If you plan to buy a multi-unit property and house hack using FHA financing, you have to know about this one rule or it could completely fall apart. Today, I'm going to give you a quick walkthrough on exactly what house hacking is, how it works, how you can quickly see if a property will qualify or not with this common obstacle that usually gets overlooked, but it's super important because it can completely kill your deal. It's called the self-sufficiency rule or self-sufficiency test. Hi, I'm Justin Brown, a mortgage broker, real estate investor, and personal finance junkie, here to give you content all around building wealth. So make sure to hit that like and subscribe button so you don't miss out on important views and news you could use on your real estate journey. So FHA allows you to buy a 2 to 4 unit property with only 3.5% down, which is one of the best ways to buy your first home because it allows you to get into a home and have the tenants from the other units potentially paying your mortgage for you and possibly even making some money every month. Imagine that, being paid to own a home and having no housing expense every month, which is typically your largest expense. With FHA, it's entirely possible, again, with low down payment. This is called house hacking. And it could even be easier to qualify for a multi-unit than a single family because you get the benefit of being allowed to use the rents from those other units to help you qualify. That's right, they'll actually give you 75% of the actual rents or market rents from those other units as income to help you purchase that property. But before you run out and get started, you have to learn about the self-sufficiency test, which is something FHA has put in place to make sure a property is self-sustainable. FHA basically wants to make sure the property can completely pay for itself if you're no longer living there. Little secret, you should want that too, because this is exactly how you can get started building a real estate portfolio that could eventually replace your 9-to-5 income. But if it doesn't pass this test, you won't be able to use any of those rents from the other units as income anymore. And then you'll also need to qualify for that full payment on your own, which in a lot of cases can completely kill a deal. The first thing you need to know is this only applies to 3 and 4 unit properties. So if you're looking for a single family or a duplex, then you can just skip this video and go find something more interesting on my channel to watch. But for those of you still here, here's how it works for those 3 and 4 unit properties. The first thing you need to do on any multi-unit property you're looking at is find out what those current rents are on those units. And if there's any vacant units in there, you got to find out what those market rents are. And honestly, any real estate agent that's listing a multi-unit property should already have all this information ready to go. And once I find a multi-unit property I'm interested in, whether I find it on Zillow, Redfin, from my agent, or whatever, I like to actually pull it up on Redfin because Redfin will, on the listing description, have a breakdown of the unit information versus a lot of other listing websites don't typically have this information on there. And if you're struggling all around to find out that information, you could always look up market rents on something like rentometer.com. But again, if you're working with agents, they should be able to get this information for you. So once you have that information, you basically add it all up and take 75% of that total. If there's vacant units, you take 75% of the market rents. And if there's occupied units, you take 75% of those current rents. And then the next step is to find out what your proposed or estimated mortgage payment is going to be on that property with taxes, insurance, and mortgage insurance, the full payment. Now, to see if the property will pass the self-sufficiency test, that 75% figure of all the rents needs to exceed the estimated mortgage payment, which then shows you and the lender that if you were to move out of that property and all the units were to be rented, that it would be able to pay for itself in full. Now, if it doesn't pass right off the bat, that doesn't mean it's the end of the line for you. You still have a few options and creative ways to still try and make this work. One, you could look at trying to do a permanent rate buy down by finding out from your loan officer what interest rate it would take for it to actually pass. And then once you have that information, finding out how much it's going to cost you to buy down the rate that low to make it pass. And then from there, you can see if you can negotiate it with the seller into the price, or if you're willing to pay it yourself, or a combination of both. So look at how much it would take to buy down the rate to make it pass. Next, look at the home insurance estimate that's being used in your mortgage payment. So start asking for referrals to some insurance agents or contact your current insurance agent and start getting some quotes to see how low you can get that annual cost, which will then also reduce your mortgage payment and potentially help it pass that self-sufficiency test. Last, you can do some research on your own by going on rentometer.com and looking up the market rents in that area and confirm that the market rents match up to what you're being told by the agent. Because sometimes agents don't really do all their homework and they might be telling you the market rents are something that they're really not. And once you do your homework, you might see that they're actually a lot more. And at that point, you might be able to come back with some numbers that actually make it pass. So look, working with a realtor or loan officer that's experienced with this can be really crucial to making these deals happen. So keep that in mind when you start talking to lenders and realtors to help you with this process. And don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss new videos I'll be putting out, diving into more ways to build wealth through real estate and personal finance.